Imagine stepping back in time almost 2 millennia ago. Picture Rome in 117 AD, a sprawling metropolis, the undisputed center of the world. This is not just any city, it's the beating heart of an empire at the height of its power, a vast dominion forged through conquest and sustained by unparalleled organization. From the misty shores of Britannia, where Hadrian's Wall stands as a testament to Roman might, to the sun-baked lands of the Middle East, Rome's influence is absolute. Marble temples dedicated to gods both old and new, and the colossal Colosseum, a stage for gladiatorial combat and public spectacle, gleam in the sun, symbols of Roman ingenuity and power. The thunder of hooves fills the air as chariots, and the vibrant energy of daily life pulsates as crowds fill the bustling streets, a melting pot of cultures and commerce. Massive aqueducts, engineering marvels, deliver fresh water to the city's fountains and homes, while the Forum, the heart of Roman political and social life, buzzes with debate, intrigue, and the clamor of public announcements. The disciplined might of the Roman legions, the backbone of the empire, parade through triumphal arches, celebrating victories and reinforcing Rome's dominance. Under the rule of Emperor Trajan, a skilled military leader and administrator, the Pax Romana, a golden age of peace and prosperity, blankets the empire, fostering unprecedented growth and stability. Thanks to well-maintained roads and secure sea lanes, people travel freely, connecting distant corners of the empire, and trade flourishes, bringing wealth and exotic goods from across the known world to Roman markets. A sophisticated legal system, Roman law, unites millions under a common framework, ensuring order and justice throughout the vast territories. Yet, even amidst this unparalleled grandeur and seemingly unshakable power, subtle cracks are forming beneath the surface. The empire's sheer size, while a source of strength, also strains its resources, its infrastructure, and its ability to effectively govern such a diverse population. The very success that propelled Rome to such heights of power and influence is, paradoxically, sowing the seeds of future trouble, creating vulnerabilities that will eventually threaten its stability. From this dazzling peak of achievement and expansion, the long and complex decline of Rome, a process spanning centuries, is poised to begin, a cautionary tale of even the mightiest empires. Rome's greatness rested on three pillars: sophisticated government, a formidable military, and a thriving economy. Its legal system unified diverse peoples, granting citizenship and stability across vast territories. The Roman army, disciplined and innovative, conquered lands and built the infrastructure, roads, bridges, aqueducts, that held the empire together. Trade flourished under the Pax Romana. Goods, currency, and ideas flowed freely from Britain to Egypt. These pillars reinforced each other. A strong army protected trade. Wealth funded the state, and efficient governance kept it all running. For centuries, this cycle fueled Rome's dominance. But as these foundations weakened, the empire's stability unraveled. When the pillars faltered, so did Rome's power. By the 3rd century, Rome's golden age was over. Crisis loomed. Civil wars erupted as generals fought for the throne, shattering political stability. The economy collapsed, trade faltered, currency was debased, and inflation soared. External threats mounted. Germanic tribes pressed the northern borders, Persians attacked in the east. The overstretched army struggled to defend the empire, drained by endless conflict. Corruption and fear replaced unity and confidence. The once mighty empire spiraled into a vicious cycle of decline. Drastic change was needed if Rome was to survive. The late 3rd century AD was a time of immense turmoil for the Roman Empire, beset by internal strife, economic woes, and constant barbarian incursions. The once mighty empire teetered on the brink of collapse. In the midst of this chaos, a strong man emerged, a figure determined to restore order and stability. In 284 AD, Diocletian, a general of humble origins, seized power, becoming the Roman emperor. Recognizing the sheer size and complexity of the empire, and understanding that no single ruler could effectively govern it alone, he made a radical decision: to split the empire in two. This wasn't just a simple division, it was the creation of the Tetrarchy, a system of rule by four. There would be two senior emperors known as Augusti, one for the east and one for the west. And each Augustus would have a junior partner, a Caesar, designated as their successor. This ensured a smooth transition of power, or so Diocletian hoped. This innovative system brought temporary stability to the Roman world, a much-needed respite from the constant crises. The division allowed for faster responses to threats along the vast borders, with each emperor focusing on their respective regions. Diocletian also implemented significant reforms to the economy, attempting to curb inflation and stabilize the currency. Diocletian, with his iron will and administrative skills, tried to restore order to a crumbling empire. But the tetrarchy was ultimately dependent on cooperation and mutual respect. After his voluntary retirement in 305 AD, the carefully constructed system quickly unraveled and civil war returned, plunging the empire back into chaos. From this turmoil, Constantine emerged victorious, a shrewd military leader and politician. He legalized Christianity, a pivotal moment in history, and, recognizing the strategic importance of the East, founded a new capital, Constantinople, in the East, a city that would become a beacon of civilization for centuries to come. The empire was briefly reunited under his rule, a fleeting moment of unity, but the balance of power had irrevocably shifted, and the real power shifted eastward towards the burgeoning metropolis on the Bosporus. Constantinople, with its strategic location and thriving economy, became the new center of the Roman world. Meanwhile, Rome, the ancient capital, began a long, slow decline. Its influence waned as the empire's focus moved east. The division, initially intended as a practical fix to improve governance, gradually solidified, becoming a permanent feature of the Roman landscape. The Western Roman Empire, plagued by internal weaknesses and external pressures, grew weaker with each passing year. In contrast, the Eastern Roman Empire, with its strong economy, centralized government and defensible capital, proved far more resilient. And so, Rome's fate was now inextricably split between two distinct worlds, two different paths. The seeds of final division, of two separate and ultimately divergent destinies, were irrevocably sown, setting the stage for the fall of one and the enduring legacy of the other. By the late 4th century, relentless pressure battered Rome's borders. The Huns drove Germanic tribes into the empire, sparking chaos. Mistreatment of the Goths led to rebellion and the catastrophic defeat at Adrianople. Rome's vulnerability exposed. In the west, defenses crumbled. Tribes crossed the frozen Rhine, carving out kingdoms in Roman lands. In 410 AD, the Visigoths sacked Rome, shattering its aura of invincibility. Provinces fell away. Britain abandoned, North Africa seized by Vandals, Rome sacked again. The Western Empire lost control, its heartlands overrun. The empire was being dismantled piece by piece. The tide of invasion was unstoppable. Rome's collapse was now inevitable. By the mid-5th century, the Western Empire was a hollow shell. Italy and little else. Real power lay with barbarian generals, not emperors. In 476 AD, Odoacer deposed the last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, and sent the imperial regalia to Constantinople. The Western Roman Empire was finished. Not with a dramatic battle, but a quiet surrender. No last stand, just a boy emperor pensioned off. The end was anticlimactic, the result of centuries of decline. The East endured, but the West was gone. Rome's fall was a whimper, not a bang. The fall of Rome shattered Western Europe, plunging the continent into upheaval. The intricate systems of governance, trade, and infrastructure crumbled, leaving a void. Territories fragmented into smaller kingdoms. Trade collapsed, impacting every level of society. Markets fell silent and the exchange of ideas dwindled. Cities shrank as populations migrated in search of safety. The grand urban centers were gradually abandoned, their buildings left to decay, and so the Dark Ages began, marked by political instability, economic hardship, and a decline in learning. Yet Rome's legacy endured, a testament to the empire's profound and lasting impact on Western civilization. The Eastern Empire, or Byzantium, thrived for centuries, a beacon of Roman civilization in the East. From Constantinople, the Byzantine Empire preserved and adapted Roman traditions. Preserving Roman law and culture, Byzantine scholars meticulously copied and studied ancient Roman texts. They also developed and refined Roman legal principles. In the West, the Catholic Church inherited Rome's structure and authority, stepping into the power vacuum left by the empire's collapse. The Church adopted Roman administrative practices, becoming a major force in shaping medieval Europe. Latin remained the language of learning, the lingua franca of scholars throughout Europe. It was the language of the Church, of law, and of intellectual discourse. And Roman law shaped future societies. providing a framework for legal systems that would govern human affairs for centuries. Modern languages, particularly the Romance languages like French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian, are direct descendants of Latin. Legal systems across the globe still reflect Roman principles, demonstrating the enduring influence of Roman jurisprudence. And architecture all bear Rome's imprint, with classical Roman styles inspiring countless buildings and monuments throughout history. The idea of a republic, a government in which citizens elect representatives, is a Roman innovation that has profoundly shaped modern political thought. Elected government, the principle that political power should be derived from the consent of the governed, is another key Roman contribution, and civic duty are Roman gifts to the world. The Romans believed that citizens had a responsibility to participate in public life. Rome's story is a lesson in the fragility of power, a reminder that even the most mighty empires can crumble and fall, and the dangers of internal decay. The Roman Empire was ultimately undone by internal problems such as political instability and economic inequality. It warns of overexpansion, the tendency of empires to grow beyond their capacity to govern and defend their territories effectively, and the challenge of holding a vast, diverse society together. The Roman Empire encompassed a multitude of cultures. Yet, even in collapse, Rome's influence shaped the world we know, leaving an indelible mark on our culture and institutions. Studying Rome is studying the roots of our civilization, gaining insights into the origins of our political systems and legal traditions. Its rise and fall echo through history, a reminder of the cyclical nature of empires. We are all, in a sense, inheritors of Rome, shaped by its legacy.